One of the biggest myths in the equestrian industry is that a green rider cannot have a green horse. I am a horse trainer and a horse coach. I have been for over 6 years now. I have dealt with hundreds of horses and hundreds of riders. Being a horse trainer and a coach, often I get horses where the intention is I train the horse, I then coach the rider. I almost 99% of the time encourage the owner to learn how to train their own horse, even very, very green horses and very, very green riders. And this is why. I do not think being a green rider means you cannot train a green horse. Often if you are a green rider, you have a level of compassion, empathy, sometimes even better timing, sometimes better feel, and way more patience than an experienced rider. I have seen a lot more horses ruined by experienced riders who think they are all that. They rush horses and they think the only measure of success is when their horse is jumping and when their horse is winning blue ribbons. Versus often a green rider, their measure of success is if their horse walks nicely, if they are ready to trot, if they are ready to canter. All of their firsts are such a huge measure of success for them. And you have no preconceived ideas of what your horse is meant to feel like or what your horse is meant to look like. Meaning you are not going to be in a desperate attempt to get your horse's head round and pull its head to its chest. You're not in a desperate attempt to get up to a level that you were doing on a more experienced horse. You just want to take it day by day, ride by ride, week by week. And often that creates the best horses. A lot of the horses I come across that have issues, but they are actually just mentally fried, have all come from experienced riders. And there is a lot about riding horses that has nothing to do with horses at all. If you have patience, if you have feel, if you have timing, you don't need to already be a horse rider to have those three things. Some people just have really good natural feel and timing, and there's a lot of experienced riders that don't have that, because you don't necessarily need to have feel or timing to throw an experienced schoolmaster over a jump. And just because you can jump 1.10 m, 1.20 m, 1.30 m does not mean you're going to be able to train a green horse. There are a lot of really good show jumpers that are fantastic experienced show jumpers on experienced seasoned horses, and they are not so great on young greener horses. And you can see that where they buy a younger horse, it's a disaster, they go back to schoolmasters, and there is nothing wrong with that. I am not shaming those riders at all. But they are often the riders that will shame the green riders that get green horses, even though there is a very good chance that that green horse and that green rider is going to turn into a fantastic partnership. If you are a green rider on the green horse journey, do not feel disheartened. Find a really good coach, find a really good mentor that believes in your journey and knows that just because you are green does not mean it is inherently going to be a disaster. It can actually be an incredible thing, and stick with it. Because saying green horses can never be ridden by green riders is the biggest myth in the equestrian industry.